All right, what's going on, guys? So today I want to talk about why you should start reading books and how a lot of the symptoms of today's society, and these are the negative symptoms I'm talking about, lack of focus and anxiety, can actually be remedied with reading. It may sound crazy, especially if you don't read at the moment, but just stick with me here, and let's get into it. So let me start by saying I hated reading. Like growing up as a kid, it was like, yeah, let me read a book when I could play Modern Warfare 2, on Terminal with my friends online. Or let me read a book when I can, do this, do that. I was already watching YouTube videos, like I was already tapped in online, right? So I don't think we should be too hard on ourselves, for not reading books when we grew up in basically the digital equivalent of the Industrial Revolution. So, there was just so many changes. Everything was happening so quickly. Our parents, we didn't know what was going on. I don't think it's worth like when I look back, I obviously think like if I had started reading maybe in even high school and college and my like right out of college years, I think I would have been more focused and less distracted in my day-to-day life. And that's kind of the goal of the video today is to hopefully convert some of you guys into readers. And I want you to approach it in a certain way. So the way that a lot of people approach everything in these days, and this is terrible and it's something we need to stop doing, in my opinion, is just approaching everything like it's entertainment, right? There's TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Netflix, HBO, video games. I mean, everything doesn't need to be entertainment, and this is something, that I realize more I get older is like constantly entertaining yourself is not good. It's short-term gratification, and it's again a product of the times we grew up in, so there's really no reason in like harping on it, but it can be fixed, and I think reading plays a role in that. So like where I'm going with this is, I used to not even be able to like sit there and eat my dinner without a YouTube video going in the background. Like there's never a time where my brain, I wake up in the morning, I'm on my phone. It's like subconscious, right? And it has its costs. It's not natural. I mean, this is a new behavior. This constant need to entertain ourselves, from the moment we wake up to the moment we go to bed. And I briefly touched upon this in my first video, but focus is a requirement for success. And that's what this constant entertainment, that's what it's really doing, is ripping our focus into places that lead nowhere, right? You can focus on Instagram all day. Back in my day, especially when I was like hungover, I just sit there and scroll all day. It's like so bad because you are gaining nothing. You're not learning anything. You're wasting your one life on earth is what you're doing. And that sounds a little extreme, but that's the reality, right? So you may be like, okay, well, how is reading any different? Because reading, if I sat there and read a book, for example, 48 Laws of Power, which was one of the first books that I read, and I definitely recommend it, because it will teach you so much just about, how to get ahead and how other people are using you to get ahead, and just also history. It's a great book. I'm not going to get sidetracked, but if I was reading that all day instead of scrolling on Instagram all day, I would learn so much. And I mentioned earlier the approach to reading not being entertainment, right? So it does become entertainment because you end up falling in love with these stories, falling in love with these lessons that you're learning. But for me, so I only started reading a couple years ago. Don't want to get into it, but there's basically I was forced to stop doing all this bullshit all day. I had to change a lot of my behaviors due to a health issue. And that's when I realized the power of reading and the benefits of reading. But approaching it as entertainment, like I mentioned earlier, isn't going to work, because especially in the beginning, your brain is used to much more stimulating entertainment, whether that's shows, social media, video games. So if you're thinking it's gonna be entertainment in that same way and hit those same pathways, you're gonna put the book down. You're gonna be like, I'm bored. And that's what I did, I think my entire life. So by approaching it for its long-term benefits, which are mental clarity, focus, just being more relaxed in general, it becomes like mentally going to the gym. So if you don't go to the gym, you need to start going to the gym, but I'll make a separate video about that. But it is the mental equivalent of going to the gym, right? So sometimes it's not going to be like that short-term dopamine blast that you're getting from everywhere else. It's going to be like, it's a much more fulfilling feeling. And another huge benefit of reading that honestly allowed me to stop a lot of the bad habits that I had done throughout my teenage years was it puts you to bed. Like, there's so much shit out there that keeps you up, especially now, whether it's, something you're watching or, your phone. These things are all designed to keep you up. And that's why we're so fucking tired all the time, because we can't get good sleep. So when I started putting my phone down like an hour before I go to bed, and reading books puts you down like a light. It's amazing, guys. So it's, I notice like my dreams are better. Like, I just wake up feeling more rested, and it's I'm sure, I know there's science to back it, like blue light, whatever, but just trust me on this one. It improves your sleep quality tremendously. And another benefit that I had noticed that I didn't expect to notice was an increase in confidence. So when you start learning in your free time, and even if you're not necessarily learning, you're reading fiction, as long as you're reading, your brain is working in a way that makes you feel smarter. It just does. You're thinking more clearly, you're talking, you're using new vocab words, and you feel smarter. And whether that's the case or not, I don't know, but it feels that way, right? So that translates to an increase in confidence. And something else you'll notice is you're not going to be terrified of boredom. You're not going to be terrified of not stimulating yourself 24/7. You'll start to enjoy things that you maybe wouldn't have enjoyed before. Like when I was a teenager and even in my early 20s, I couldn't sit through a movie. My attention was so bad. Like I would be on my phone and they'd be like, oh, what's going on? So I know some of you guys maybe don't struggle with that, but I couldn't enjoy a ton of things because of my attention deficit. And reading was honestly shocking how much of a fix it was for a lot of my problems. So yeah, guys, I think just find books there's so many books out there that I can't even begin to recommend them because everyone's different. I can maybe make a separate video, in the future about some of the more impactful books that I've read. So yeah, find your niche. There's so many books out there. Also, unrelated benefit, girls love guys who read books. It's just a fact. I think it was like the number one most attractive hobby that a guy can have, the surveys say. So that's another benefit. But yeah, guys, that's it for me today. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what books you guys are going to read or if you are going to start this journey. Peace.